Winemaking philosophy is 100% grapes. We don't spend too much time in the cellar. We have about 10 hectares at the moment that's on poles and wire, and then we'll have about 7 hectares on echelon, on vine by post, and on the back there we're planting 9 hectares of completely bush vine. This is definitely one of the hardest farms I've ever worked on. It's just crazy.
Today we are at Porseleinberg, and probably the most exciting release of the year. It's a project that Kloof has undertaken, and Kalilo is the winemaker. He's the farmer. He's the chicken look afterer, and he's just producing the labels. And he's just going to tell us a little bit about this maiden release, the 2010 Porseleinberg Syrah. Kali, why are you here?
It's a cool property. Well, basically the grapes from this property has been sought after quite heavily. It was used in the first bottling of Colimella, and a lot of other rockstar winemakers have sourced grapes from here. Kloof bought the property in 2009, and yeah, basically my job description is to grow the best Syrah for Kloof. I did manage to convince Mark to allow me to make a bit of wine, and so Porseleinberg will be another label.
Kali, I saw these massive boulders in the vineyard. It must not be easy making wine here.
Well, it's not easy farming here. We are situated on top of the mountain, and the sort of weathering process and natural rhythms of the earth, topsoil moves downhill into the valleys, and we are on top, so we have the least topsoil. All our topsoil is down there, so we have very little topsoil, and just below that is 100% rock. The soils are some of the highest in solid content, rock percentages, in South Africa, which is perfect for wine, for growing grapes. Amazing drainage, water. Roots can penetrate with a heavy soil. Roots tend not to penetrate that deep. With our soils, we have a really great structure in the soil, so the roots can penetrate. That sort of gives a vine a much bigger buffer capacity. We have inevitable heat waves every year, and so for the roots penetrating, that's where the sort of the reservoir of moisture is. So the vines can access that, and when the heat waves come, they have that buffer, so they don't go into stress, lose their leaves, and grapes shrink or get that sort of old man face. We try and spend more time in the vineyard and then chill during harvest. We pick the grapes, sort them in the vineyard, and then it comes here in lugs. We chuck everything whole bunch into the concrete fermenters. Get the biggest cores on the farm with gumboots, yeast stamps on the grapes. Natural ferment takes place 4 days after we've foot stomped them. The ferment takes about 7 days. We leave it on skins for a week or two, and then press it in an old press that we bought on a Monday morning in Kotroti, so it's pretty cool. And then it goes into eggs and big food load. I don't really believe in small barrels. We also pick quite early. I like fresh wines, so we try and get the alcohols below 14. The current vintage is about 13.7. And that's it. Spend time about 16 months in eggs and barrels, and then
this is the whole production of Porseleinberg, which will be selling. 2 will be kept back as vintage stock, and 4 will go all around the world.
we approached a very young design company about Porseleinberg. They had funky ideas and stuff, and we gave them a little brief, and they came up with with no ink front label. It's called debossing, something like that. And then a blue back label, and everything's sort of based on a Delft tile. Yeah, and then I got a guy that does letterpresses to train me for a day, and now I do everything on the farm. Do my own labels, make my own wine, grow my own grapes. It's all good.
What I wanted to say is the great wines around the world often mimic their proprietors or their wine makers, and I think the Porseleinberg is quite a case in point. Cully might not look like the most groomed man in the world, but underneath there's a lot of richness, there's a lot of integrity, there's a lot of elegance, and that's what the Porseleinberg Shiraz or Syrah is about. It's an honest wine. It's an elegant wine. It might look a little bit rough on the outside, but it's got a lot of soul. It's got a lot of energy, and that's Cully. So there we are. Wine Cellar has an allocation. We're one of the few people in South Africa that will be selling the Porseleinberg, and we only have 120 bottles. And it's going to sell out very quickly, so this is a wine to buy, and you'll feel special drinking it.